Hey everyone, so this week I'm going to be doing a different kind of video. It's going to be about something that's happened in the game space here. So it's definitely a little bit different. But I think it also falls along with my frustrations with the technology industry in general. So, that being said, it's going to be about this little private server called Turtle Wow. I know that if you have been following me, you have heard that sometimes when I talk about Linux, I say I play Turtle WoW sometimes. Okay, so now that you know that I play Turtle WoW, what the heck is Turtle WoW? So they are a small little private server, and well, they were little, but they've been around since 2018, and they are what's called a classic plus server for World of Warcraft. So what that means is they take they try to make their version of how classic was. So meaning when the first game first came out, what did people experience? What was that feeling like when you went and you started going off and traveling and looking at stuff and experiencing the world, right? And I played classic when it first came out. Time appropriate classic. Uh, and I was playing EverQuest before that, and I loved EverQuest. I didn't think anything could pass EverQuest. And I still like EverQuest, but I just don't play it anymore because it's you know private servers. I mean, not private servers, but fresh start servers come and go, and then the community dies and it moves on, and I don't like it. So, Turtle Wow though, I was like, eh. I saw this guy. He streams a lot for Turtle Wow called Solheim, and he had a video where he was in Stormwind at about 8 p.m. And he said, "Hey guys, here's Stormwind at about 8 p.m." And he showed that there was about 7,000 or 6,000 people. I forgot what it was, but there was a good number of people there, right? So I'm like, "Wow." I'm like, "There's that many people?" Nah, no way. It has to be there's a streamer there, or some big name or something like that, and all his little cronies are following him around, right? Um, but yeah, I'm like, there's no way. So then I check a couple other times, and there's still tons of people all over the place. Then in front of Stormwind, sitting underneath a little tent, you see like there's a gang load of people just sitting there. So I'm like, you know what? I better try this. So my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm trying Turtle WoW." She says, "Oh, I don't like that kind of slow game because she likes fast-paced games. She's like she's good at games, right? So she got racial bonuses for games. So she saw me playing Turtle WoW, and I was in Stormwind, and there's tons of people running all over the place. And she's like, "Oh, maybe people are just bored. That's why they're in Stormwind. They're just not doing anything. They're just standing around, just like regular WoW, right?" So she didn't play, but I saw her kind of on the side of her eye, kind of just checking it out. And I was playing, and as I was playing, I realized I got the same kind of feeling, like a very similar feeling to when I used to play classic WoW. And it may sound pretty pathetic, but when I played classic WoW a long time ago, when it was time appropriate, I met some of the most interesting people ever. And we ended up playing together for years. We even created the top guild on our server, which was, well, it was Kel'Thas, and then it went to we were in Hyjal and then Kel'Thas. We created a guild called the Rapture, and it was just a small group of like close internet friends, right? We had people from New York, and we had people from Oregon, and we had people from, I think there was someone else kind of nearby Oregon or something like that. I mean, not Oregon, by uh, New York. And we had a badass tank, right? He doesn't tank anymore. Damn it! You need to tank, buddy. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about here. Awesome warrior tank, man. So we'd go and do Dire Mall North runs. We did regular stuff. We did our Anixia attunement. We did tons of stuff, and we were just having so much fun. When you think of, if you know what an Anixia attunement is, like the classic version of the Anixia attunement, you don't think of it as fun, right? You think of it, oh my god, I don't want to do that again. But at the time, it was fun, right? We did PvP, we dueled our mages who would try to, one shot us before we got to them and killed them. You know, there were so many fun things. We'd find gold farmers and we'd train them with a bunch of craps to get them killed. And it was just, it was kind of a douche move, but we were young. I think we were like in high school or something, and it was just so fun. Like those are time, like it's pretty sad to say, but those are times in my life that I will never forget. Like I wish I knew where those guys were now. Like I would like to say, just go to them and say what's up, right? And maybe just have lunch with them one day. One guy I know where he kind of is, but we don't really stay in contact too much. So what happened is WoW started changing. So our little guild started changing. It started getting bigger and bigger. And we started getting world first and all this other stuff. And then not world first, but server first. I'm sorry. We weren't that good. Server first, right? So server first on stuff, and everyone knew us. Like, oh, it's those guys. But then they started letting in more people, and the game started changing. It started becoming more like um more like a job almost, right? Where you had to do this and you had to do that, and you have to, like, leadership changed, and like after a while, like me and a couple other people are like, man, we're not feeling this anymore, right? We created this guild, but we're kind of done with it. At the end, I ended up with the guild. Like when everyone left and it died, I just kept the guild because it's my guild, right? It was my guild, and one of the original people should have that guild, so I kept it. I nabbed it, and it's mine now, and it'll always be mine. Anyway, so as WoW started changing, there started to be more hamster wheel crap, more FOMO. Uh, the trading post is there now, so you can't just stop playing WoW if you want to get your trading post stuff. You have to have your subscription running, right? So if you want that trading post stuff, you need that to have that subscription running. If you want, you don't necessarily have to play to get your basic little currency or whatever. You just have to pay, right? So as long as you pay or use your WoW gold, like I don't know how my wife does it, but she's like JG Wentworth or whatever it is. She makes tons of money on WoW, not even playing the game. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know how she does it. She should have her own gold making channel. Anyway, so unless you're paying, or if you're a gold master, like a true goblin, then and you can pay with gold, you have to have that sub running, or you don't get the FOMO stuff. Isn't you don't get that FOMO. Um, the FOMO rewards, I should say. Uh, so I got a bunch of cool stuff. I got that the guitar from Naxxramas, time appropriately, not on the black market auction house or any other way like this. I got tiger mounts, and I got like all that stuff on the horde side, all that junk. Um, and My wife started playing during SSC because I didn't meet her. I didn't even know her when I started playing WoW. But she finally started playing SSC on a Pentium 3. And I always remember that because she was trying to do a raid with me, and she couldn't jump out of the water. And I was poor as shit back then. So I couldn't get her a good PC. So I got one from work because I was, starting, well, not starting, but I was kind of in the middle of my technology journey. And and I got her a computer right away because I felt like such a dick for seeing her struggle like this. It ruined her experience. But anyway, different story. But anyway, we both enjoyed WoW, right? She learned to play games by playing WoW, and she loved it. And she plays today. So eventually, she saw me playing, and she's like, oh, "I'll give it a shot." And she tried it the first time. She's like, this is too slow." So she went and she tried Ascension. She liked Ascension. And then I said, "Nah, honey, I don't really like Ascension that much. It's not my bag, right?" So then she kept playing Ascension, but then she started seeing me play some more, and she's one of those people who needs to decide for herself, right? She won't listen to someone if they tell her to do it. She has to figure it out for herself. So she saw me and she gave it another shot, and we played on the alliance side. I was playing horde initially, and I went with her to alliance because she likes the girl characters and all this other stuff. She wanted to have the high elf, which is basically a blood elf. So we played together, and and eventually we went to horde side again. And one thing that she said, like I remember I said that I felt that it brought back that nostalgia and that feeling of first playing classic WoW. It wasn't even nostalgia though. It was it was as enjoyable as classic WoW, but it wasn't classic WoW. It brought those same feelings. So when she played on Horde side, because we kind of played on Horde side before, she said, "Wow, it's weird, but when I play right now, I want to stay on this side because I feel like I'm home." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she said, because I was thinking she couldn't understand it the way I do, right? Most likely. She says, "Yeah, I just feel like it was just like when we played before at the beginning. It feels the same." And I'm like, "Wow, that's cool, right?" So we've been playing this for a long time, and now she kind of feels now she understands the way I do. Hey, this is the best private server that ever came out. So this private server they added not just it's not just WoW with a label on it. They've done customizations to the classes. They've added custom leveling zones. They have added custom dungeons. They have been working on Unreal Engine 5 upgrade for WoW. And they've done customizations to the classes, characters, like races, racial differences, features that were in WoW but were never released to the public, like planes running or planes striding, or I'm not sure how they call it, but where Taurens they can run as fast as like a mount, right? Um, there's so many cool things in Turtle WoW that we fell in love with it, and now she says that's the best private server out there. I said, yeah, honey, you get it. That's good. And so other people started getting it. Maybe it's the social media. Maybe it was the videos from Solheim. I'm not sure, but um, thank you for those videos. By the way, Solheim, I really appreciate it. You really opened my eyes to how great it is. So I started. Um, we played for a while, and then more and more people started coming. Right, went to 8,000, then 9,000, and then they released a new server. I think that's what triggered this kind of. So they released a new server, Ambershire, and we flopped over to Ambershire because we hadn't been playing that long. And Ambershire got up to about, I think the highest I saw was 14,000 something, almost 15,000 people on at once on one server. So think about that. That's higher than Proudmoore if you play retail. That's higher than most servers, except for maybe I think Area 52 still has like I don't know. I don't know what it is currently, but it used to be like 20 something thousand. But that's high, right? And that's all these people saying eh, that this is scratching an itch that no other private server or that WoW does at all. These are people coming over that are saying, "Hey, you know what? WoW just isn't doing it right anymore." They all know it's lost its soul since it's been sold to Microsoft. The guys who brought you cool stuff like Windows Recall and Copilot and Microsoft Teams. Everyone loves Microsoft Teams, right? From the guys that brought you Microsoft Teams, we are now running WoW. We are now the parent company that has ownership of Activision Blizzard. It was bad enough when it was Activision, but now it's Microsoft. So what do you expect, right? So then they're cutting the teams, they're doing all this stuff. While this small tiny team here for Turtle WoW, they are releasing tons of stuff all the time. They have a development schedule. They are very open with that with the community. And Microsoft's in their wisdom said, okay, well we can either look at this server and say, hey, okay, so they are making a lot of money off of our IP. we probably want to sue them. And if it were my IP, I'd probably do the same, right? But they are making money. They're being very successful with that formula. Let's take things from that formula and apply it to our own Classic Plus server. Or let's force them to, where our users have to pay $15 to play Turtle WoW, right? And they can have control over, the administration of it, as long as we get our $15 and we get a cut of the, or we give them a cut of the sales in the donation store, which will be in the Blizzard shop now, and just enough so they can run, right? They could do that, or just take those ideas, sue them into oblivion, and apply it to their Classic Plus servers so that people, they get those players that were kicked out of Turtle WoW, right? They could do that. Sounds like a pretty good idea, right? Take all those ideas, apply them. What is Turtle WoW going to do? Sue them for copying their own intellectual property? No, they can't do anything. So they can bring all that in and use that, right? And get those players back and scratch that itch and make tons of money. Nah, we're not going to do that. That's takes effort. That's effort and that's investment. We want short-term results. So, let's just sue them. Let's just sue them, and let's not take any of the lessons that they have learned along the way and apply it to our game, because we don't have to. We can lock our users in a little restroom, playing our game, take a shit on the floor, and make them smell it while they're playing our game, because we've been conditioned to play WoW, regardless whether it's good or not. We play it so many times that we've been conditioned to play that thing. A lot of us don't even, if you ask yourself, why am I playing WoW? A lot of us don't even know the answer to that anymore if you're playing retail. We've just been conditioned to do so. It's just when the new expansion hits, we have that hope for the dopamine rush that we're going to get when we play WoW. And maybe it comes for a second and then it's gone. It's gone because it's just a hamster wheel cash grab kind of system now. It's FOMO, it's battle passes, it's like the trading post and all that crap, right? So whereas Turtle WoW, no FOMO, no FOMO. Uh, so yeah, it's just a good game, right? You have everyone hanging out with each other, talking to each other. You have the GMs in chat, talking to people, joking with them. You have the GMs controlling the chat too. So if you have your kids playing or something like that on Turtle WoW, I wouldn't let my kids play retail WoW. No way. You know how much caustic, horrible shit is on retail WoW? No way. Turtle WoW, there's still stuff that's a little borderline, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Turtle WoW. The GM shut down bad stuff that's going on in chat when it gets too crazy, because this is a game, right? We should be playing a game and relaxing, not trying to troll each other and being caustic caustic horrible people. So yeah, so Blizzard sued Turtle WoW, and what are they suing them for? So there's a 49-page document that Blizzard put out outlining its core document. And no one out there is going to go through that core document. But one guy, I think his name's Kyo or something on Discord, he got the gist of it, actually. He went through the introduction of the court documents, and he noted some of the main things that they are pointing out. And good on him. Thank you for doing that. What I did is I grabbed the entire court document on the PDF, threw it into my AI, and had it spit out what the important points of this court document. So I'm going to go and read that to you here. because I'm not reading 49 pages. I know I like you guys, but I don't want to read 49 pages of a court document that's not even for my company. So I got the main points. So what's going on? Blizzard Entertainment, the maker of World of Warcraft, is suing Turtle WoW, a popular private server that lets people play free modified versions of WoW. Blizzard says that Turtle WoW is illegal because it copies WoW's code, art, music, and servers without permission. Okay, first 2 points, absolutely. I agree. They're copying it without their permission. They have all the rights in the world to sue the shit out of them, right? Make them disappear. That's just how it is. Now, if they're in some place like Russia or somewhere like that, I heard that Turtle WoW was in Russia, but then my wife said that she heard that they were in Europe. So depends on where they are. If they're in a compliant place, then they're screwed, right? Blizzard is here's where it gets stupid. Blizzard is also accusing them of not just copyright infringement, but also racketeering. So racketeering. Let's racketeering is a very broad term. There's no specific um criteria for being a racketeer, right? They used to use racketeering for mob bosses, right? Racketeering. It's like a blanket statement that covers a bunch of different stuff. So when you have nothing else, there's tons of people that could probably be sued for racketeering or charged with racketeering. Treating Turtle WoW like an organized criminal organization. So let that sink in. These guys that won't let people talk and chat about horrible stuff is a organized criminal organization. So they're the Bratva, or they're like like one of these organized crime syndicates, right? Um, yeah, they're not. That's not what they are, dude. It's a passion project that got big, right? And it's what I always say with whether it's open source software, whether it's APKs, whether it's anything that's good that gets big, gets scrutinized by these dumb shit big organizations, corporations, because they're not getting their cut of the pie, and they have the right to do that, right? Or the government comes in, or like a three letter agency, right? They don't like it, so they either sue them or they do some kind of legal bullshit to wish them out of existence, right? You're gone, right? So we've seen it with things like I believe Tachiyomi. That was something where people could read anime or something before. That thing's gone, right? They had some kind of legal thing and they're gone. That's why I don't tell people about anything that's good now, for the most part. I will, maybe I'll do that somewhere else, but not here, not on YouTube for sure, because it's harmful or dangerous content, and we don't want to do that here, right? Okay, so I don't want to endanger you, so I'm just waiting for Linux to be considered harmful and dangerous. That's gonna come, but anyway. So anyway, oh my god. So but so they're obviously mob bosses, right? Turtle WoW is a mob boss. We need to put like little little Al Capone outfit on them. Blizzard's main claims. Turtle WoW copied WoW's software, art, music, and expansions without permission. Every download of their custom launcher equals copyright violation. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I agree. Right? How can I disagree? Circumventing security. Blizzard's built protections so that WoW only works on official servers with a subscription. Turtle WoW broke this protection so that people could play free. Yeah, they did. So when we talk about copyright violations, when we talk about circumventing security and all this other stuff, let's look at AI. Let's look at OpenAI and these other places, even Google, right? Let's look at Gemini. Where did they get their data? Their training data. Oh, doesn't apply there. Nah, doesn't apply there. All those copywritten works doesn't apply there. No. Let's just look the other way on that one. But when it comes to Turtle WoW, this tiny little server that can barely protect itself, yeah, let's focus on that one. That's the important one there. You know, let's forget about how AI was trained, right? Let's forget about all that. Now, don't get me wrong, I have locally installed AI at home, but because I don't like to use too much hosted stuff unless it's just benign stuff. Then yeah, I use it. But for important stuff that has personal information and whatever else, I use locally installed. So don't want to get off on a tangent. False branding confusion. Turtle WoW uses WoW's logos, names, and art, making it look official when it's not. Some of the art, yeah, if you're using like if you're playing a dwarf or you're playing a paladin, or you look at it, you see WoW, right? So that could create confusion. Turtle WoW's logo is a little turtle with a T WoW or something like that on it, so that's not the same. But there's enough that's the same to where it's obviously WoW, right? So you can't dispute that. This one's kind of stupid. Interference with contracts. Players signed Blizzard's EULA. Remember when you clicked agree on Blizzard and you read through every single bit of their contract, saying that just that you agreed to never play a private server? Remember when you agreed to that? Of course you don't, because no one reads that shit. Well, because you agreed to that, Turtle WoW, they say, came to us and says, hey, listen here. You probably want to play Turtle WoW. Just break your contract for us and play Turtle WoW with us, right? Uh, they came to my door and they said, "Hey, psst, Turtle WoW, right? Break your contract," or they sent us a text, or they did something that encouraged us to break that contract. No, they didn't, right? They made a good product. They made a product that's worth a damn. They made something that everyone has been asking Blizzard for forever. And they acted on that. And the community built up around it. Because when like what, Field of Dreams, when you build it, they will come, right? You build that shit and you do it right, you get the community. So that's what happened. Blizzard, corporations in general, they will always point the finger somewhere else than where it belongs, at themselves. So my wife will kill me if I don't say this, but Blizzard has done some interesting things in the past. So I agree. There are some ideas that they have every now and then where they do something right, but it's mired in all this crap. It's mired in all this FOMO. It's mired in all this stupid, nonsensical junk, right? And they take no action to change that. As long as that hamster wheel keeps running, as long as that money keeps printing, they continue. And their numbers are going down, and they're just pointing at other places. Oh, let's it's kind of like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever worked in with some real estate folks. Sometimes real estate people, when they're not making money, they sue people to get money. Like I saw that because I worked in the real estate industry before, and it's kind of the same thing, right? Uh, WoW is going downhill fast, and they know that. And when people see a good product, World of Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard doesn't want them to say, "Wow, that's how it could be. Wow, it could be like this. Why isn't it like this? Right? Why? This small team can do it. Why hasn't WoW done that? Right? So it's better if they just disappear." So they didn't encourage me to break my contract, right? Racketeering, the most stupid one, right? They're an international crime ring. Oh my God, this is serious. International crime ring. And here's where it making money off of piracy. So there is copyright infringement, right? So we can't deny that. But they cite donations. So they have a donation page. I've never given a donation. I should, and I might. now. My wife has been wanting to donate because she just wants to, and marketing campaigns, and so they've made some videos telling people about their new expansions or maybe a dungeon that they're doing. Like they've put out more content on Turtle WoW in the time that they've been out than like think about Classic Plus, how long that's been around, or Classic or any of that stuff. Been around for a while now, right? You don't get shit. Sometimes you get like Miss Pandaria had their Classic Plus thing. That was pretty fun for a while, right? Some people hated it, some people loved it, but at least it was different. But they donate marketing campaigns and influencer partnerships as part of this enterprise. So they say that the influencers who are saying, "Hey, I like this product. It's good." Like, you know, I wish I was part of that enterprise. Make me part of, pay me, give me, make me part of that enterprise, please. But but yeah, they're saying that they are part of a criminal organization, a criminal enterprise. That's quite a stretch. It's it's they're really stretching, right? But donations, marketing campaigns, maybe there's something there that makes sense. But the influencer stuff, dude, if Solheim or one of these other guys, there's some other guy, I forgot what his name is. He says you know what I mean a lot, but he uh he does a lot of videos too, and they're good videos. It's if they're part of, they're not part of a criminal organization. These are guys that love the game and they make videos about the game. That's all it is. Um, I don't know, like, dude. It's just corporations being asshole. Like I know you've seen that thing. Don't trust this. They are asshole or whatever. Well, don't trust corporation. They are asshole. 100%. Um, that's exactly be outside of the copyright stuff. Everything else is them just being assholes. So how Turtlewell works? Private servers. I didn't know there were at least 9 servers. I had no idea, including ones for North America, because I know I connect to Europe, right? So I didn't know that there were some other one. Maybe they connect over here and then bounce over there. I haven't looked. They use a modified client. Yeah, they do. They use their Turtlewell client where you can install add-ons directly through the client, which is really nice and pretty sick, right? And it keeps everything up to date. There's only a couple, like I think, like they have an AI voice thing, which is pretty cool, and that all works. It's tons of fun, really cool. Extra content. They made a fan-made expansion called Mysteries of Azeroth and are working on Turtle 2.0 Unreal Engine 5. Now, I don't know if you guys seen this, but it looks amazing, right? There are some things with the trees looking low poly compared to the rest of the environment, but I'm sure they'll fix that as time goes on. They claim it's free, but players give donations, often with rewards like pets, mounts, and gear. So you donate, you get a couple credits, and you can buy things in the house. But if you look around in Turtle WoW, there's not too many people who have like um, donation stuff. So I don't see how they're making that much money. But there are 14,000 people, so they could be making um, uh, a handsome sum, right? So I don't know. We'd have to have access to their records to see that. But okay, so let's take a look at this. So maybe WoW, you know how WoW Blizzard um told everyone about how they're going to be releasing WoW on Unreal Engine 5. Maybe they just don't want it to conflict with their version of Unreal Engine 5 WoW, right? Oh wait, they're not doing that, right? They're not doing that. Oh, maybe they don't want it to conflict with all the different little dungeons they're adding to their Classic Plus servers, right? Oh wait, they're not doing that either, right? They're just giving you the rehashed crap that they always give you. And sometimes they do something innovative, but then they don't do it anymore. It's it's just like, I don't know. Some people might like retail still, right? I don't. I don't care what stuff I have on retail because the game sucks to me. Like I am not a FOMO boy. So here's the thing. Like let's we'll go through the rest of this real quick. Um with the money part, you got to understand the servers that they have cost money to run. So these guys can't be spending all of their money on running Turtle WoW, right? So it's definitely something that they have to account for. Security, servers, probably a uh, server space in a data center or something, right? And they probably have something like this. I'm sure they're not running it like when I ran my EverQuest server for my wife. I ran a little EverQuest server and I had it running on a laptop. They're not doing that for 14,000 people, right? Most likely. Um, they have dedicated server space for this, most likely. Why Blizzard says it's harmful? Loss of revenue. Yeah, they're losing revenue. Why? Look at themselves. Look at what they're putting out. That's why they're losing revenue. You put out shit, you know, like I said last time. Um, if I take a crap on the floor and wrap a little, put a little flower hat on it, and I put some nice shoes on it, and all of this, it's still a pile of shit. That's how I kind of feel about a lot of WoW stuff. You could dress up a turd, but it's still a turd, right? Turtle WoW has put out something that is innovative. It is. It's just. It's like when people say on Discord and on Reddit all the time. This is what Classic Plus should be. You'll see that sentiment echoed over and over and over. So yeah, I would just say they need to look inward before they look outward. Yeah, sue the shit out of Troll WoW, but take their ideas, take all those dungeons, incorporate it into Classic Plus. They have the right to do what they want, but use those ideas, make a better game. Don't just do the regular American corporate way of buying something and nuking it out of oblivion, or suing someone and suing them into oblivion just because you refuse to innovate and make a good product. I'm so damn tired of that. Like, that's a big reason why I have this channel, is because I am damn tired of companies who, my old boss used to say, he didn't care what product people used as long as he owned the data. Because you control the data, you control the market, you control the people, you control everything, right? And he's right. 100% right. Smart guy. Cool guy, too. Anyway, so make a good damn product, man. Blizzard, make a good product. If you're going to sue these guys into oblivion, make a good product. Do what they are doing. You want to make this money? You want to make that turtle wow money? then take some of those ideas and implement them into your thing. I would rather pay $15 a month and get a legitimate experience, because if I paid the $15 a month, I would know, hey, this place is probably going to be here a little bit longer, right? I've had my account at Blizzard forever, right? And if they want to ban me for this video, that's fine. I don't care, because I don't play retail anymore anyway. It's stupid as shit. So, but if take some of those ideas, incorporate them into your product, and go, right? Go with it. So here's what they're saying. So community splitting. Players are leaving official WoW, making the community smaller. Yeah. Again, point to the last topic we talked about, right? Quit making shit. Make something good. People will come. If you build it, they will come, right? Brand damage, right? Bad experiences on Turtle WoW reflect poorly on Blizzard. Okay, that's not brand damage. That comment comes from brain damage. That is Blizzard basically. Dude, I don't know. Like, dude, how disillusioned and narcissistic do you have to be to think that, hey, if it has to be, the reason why we're not getting people is because they're having bad experiences on Turtle WoW. That's why we're not getting the we're losing customers on Blizzard. They're reflecting poorly on us. Hell no. People are leaving because you make shit, right? Like, look at all the streamers out there. Some of them are so big that it doesn't even matter anymore. They've kind of lost the sense of what made them like WoW in the first place, and they don't understand where people are coming from anymore. But there's a lot of them out there, like like some of the ones I talked about. Um, they're on, maybe they're on Turtle WoW, or maybe they're somewhere. They're looking for that thing, and they're not finding it. People are loving Turtle WoW. Like, I haven't talked to one person on Turtle WoW that dislikes it. Um, there, I'm trying to think if there was anything that anyone's ever said. Only thing that some people complain about is they complain because the paladins are a little bit overpowered, but they just got nerfed. And I think the developers play paladins, so but they got nerfed. So they're still powerful as shit, but they got nerfed a little bit, right? So I can't think of, like, people love it. Like, even my wife, she went from totally, that's slow, I don't want to play that, to like loving it, right? And now she's like, oh, I can't play it anymore because they're gonna go out of business, so she's playing something else. Um, Security risks. So private servers don't have Blizzard's protections, risking hacks and malware. So this is, I think this is the last one. So if we look at the past here, where's that? God damn it. Yeah, here we go. So Turtle WoW, massively overpowered, put on a article on July 29, 2024, where Turtle WoW, they announced to everyone that they were hacked. And what they told everyone, is that the operators of the Turtle WoW emulator have reported a hack of its account database, which got them access to encrypted passwords and email addresses of registered players. No character data was seized in the attack. And what they said, here's their quote: "It is our responsibility to inform you all the risks, even if login details were not stored in plain text." Good job. No plain text, right? The announcement reads in part: "While passwords are encrypted and hashed," another good job, right? "It is still encouraged to exercise caution and change your login information wherever it was used." Absolutely, right? Gives you time to change your stuff. If by the time they're able to hack into that shit, your passwords are changed. You should be using good practices and not using the same passwords on all your shit anyway. So don't do that. We'd say that's pretty good advice in general, but anyone who perhaps was part of this EMU may want to follow through on that suggestion now. Yeah, good. Very level-headed response to this whole thing, and it's very good of them to report that. So I've been at a lot of companies in the past, and um, a lot of passwords for the longest time were all in plain text. Big companies, banks, and all stuff like this. This was a while back, but plain text, right? And even now, you'll find that some companies are still plain text. Absolutely stupid, but they are still in plain text. Plain text means that if I send it over the internet, everyone can read it, right? So, there was something recently, I forgot what it was, but anyway, maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, so they gave you the lowdown. They kind of gave you the warning, and good on them, right? What did they do right? They encrypted and hashed the passwords. They gave good advice to change your passwords, and they were straightforward and said, "This is what happened. This is what you need to be aware of. These are the risks. Change your passwords." Right? Straightforward. Took accountability. What else can you ask for? Let's look to see if Blizzard has run into that. So, let me turn off dark mode here. Okay. So, Battle.net hacked. Some user information compromised. So, in 2012, Blizzard reported, and keep in mind, Turtle WoW's been out since 2018. Okay, so they got hacked one time that I've seen since 2018. If there's any more, let me know. Uh, reported on Thursday that Bell.net was hacked and some user information had been stolen. They don't know really exactly what that was, though the company has seen no evidence that accounts or credit cards are at risk. So they're not saying like Turtle Wow did. If you look back at Turtle Wow, where is it? They say no character data was seized in the attack. They say it was certitude, and they tell you with certitude what they got access to, right? Upfront, direct, awesome. Well, Blizzard, on the other hand, some information has been stolen. What? Oh, well, we're not going to tell you. Has seen that no evidence of accounts or credit cards are at risk. Well, we're not really sure, right? If we go down here, um, it says for users outside of China and for players on North American servers specifically, that data also includes the answers to personal security questions. Oh, that's great. Your MFA. And information related to mobile and dial-in Bell.net authenticators. Holy shit. I didn't even know that. This affects players all across Blizzard's Bell.net properties. And the studio president, Mike Morhaime, Morheim, said that the company does not think that the stolen data would allow anyone to gain access to users' Bell.net account, nor does he think that any credit card data was accessed. Like this think and not speaking with certitude and just owning up to shit is, they've been hacked. If they're hacked, say, hey guys, this is what they got. It looks like they may not have gotten credit card info, but I would play it safe. It's always good to be direct with your users, right? Um, so they're urging North American users to change their passwords, but they don't really say anything about your credit cards. If your credit card gets hacked and it's out there, they say, "Oh, we don't think it's there." Dude, you need to close out your credit card and get a new one. Report it lost or stolen, and then just get a new one, right? That's what I have to do if I'm in that kind of situation. Shit. Okay. So, those are two different things that we can see. So, does Blizzard have more protections than Turtle WoW? Well, I hope so. I know we've been talking about through this, and I know they're an indie dev and they're struggling to make ends meet, but I'm hoping that they put a lot of that money into security and privacy. But who knows now? They're firing everyone, right? They're firing tons of people from Blizzard. Microsoft, Big Brother Microsoft is going in there and raping and pillaging the company. So, man, I don't know, right? It's like I always say, when something gets too good, places razor line focus on that, especially when they're doing bad, and they blame that thing for making a good product, and they start hyper focusing on it so that they can say, "Oh, the reason why we're doing bad, it's this private server. That's why our numbers are down." No, it's because you're a pile of shit. That's what it is, right? You're putting out crap, so people respond to it like crap. They avoid it, right? They don't want to be stuck in the bathroom with someone who had the Taco Bell craps, right? You want to leave there as soon as possible and go somewhere else. You know. So anyway, so that's just my take on it. Tell me what you. Oh, actually, no, we didn't even get into how people are responding. So, so let's look at how people are responding on Reddit. So here's a guy. I'm not gonna put his name because I don't want to name and shame because it's a pretty nonsensical take. So this guy says private servers have always existed because people don't want to pay. bunch of delusional people below. Okay, so this guy obviously hasn't played Turtle while. Um, he's talking out of his ass, right? I'm not gonna show his name because, dude, I would rather pay so that I know my account's gonna be there tomorrow, right? The reason why I'm playing on Turtle WoW, and the reason why a lot of other people are playing on Turtle WoW, is because, and here's the thing: if you play on a private server, you're giving your trust to people who you don't even know, right? Well, we don't know Blizzard either, but they are under scrutiny, right? Well, they should be. They really probably aren't as much as we would like to hope. But when you give it to a private server, they could be hackers. They could be like some kind of a data collection company that's just doing this to get your data and throw it all over the place, right? Sell it to a data warehouse or whatever. But the the statement that private servers have always existed because people don't want to pay, that's the most idiotic comment I've ever seen in my life. The reason why they exist is because they fulfill a need that that they fulfill a need that's filling a void, right? Now, are there some people maybe in a third party country or somewhere where they can't afford WoW? Yeah, that could be the case. But for most people, I would say 90% of people who are on, maybe 90% of people are on Turtle WoW, right? I would rather pay Blizzard $15. Blizzard, take my money, but you got to make a decent product, right? Don't just put out something that looks pretty and is made by a bunch. Like, I want to be not so negative, but you know, just try, take my money and make something that I actually want to play, right? Developers now are so anti-consumer, not developers, the companies, not the developers, except for that stupid guy, back in the past. What, you guys don't have phones? That guy's a douche, and dude, that guy's the biggest douche. Those kind of people make people hate game companies, right? So anyway, companies and douches like that are the reason why people go to Turtle WoW. Are the reasons why developers end up creating places like Turtle WoW, because that need is there. They make the experience exist, and then people play it reluctantly. Really, they reluctantly play it until it blows up, right? And then it blows up, and then everyone's like, oh, shit, this is awesome, right? And then big companies see that, hyper focus, kill it, and then people are in. They either have to go back to WoW, which I hope they don't, until they do something that's worthwhile playing, or they play something else, right? Or they go to a different private server that's, it might be a half-ass server, it might be something that's similar, right? Um, but yeah, so you can see people are responding to him. You realize this is the reason why they have to file lawsuits, right? They don't have to file lawsuits, but they have the right to file a lawsuit. It doesn't matter how much custom shit you add. You make money off their actual game, you are doing something illegal. Yeah, absolutely. You are doing something illegal. So you should expect that time is going to come. It's not if it's going to come. Eventually it'll come, right? Unless you make some shitty product like when I did a private server on EverQuest. It was just something simple for me and my wife. And this guy, though, very in a balanced way. This guy wasn't unbalanced, though. He had a balanced response. And this guy has another balanced response. Not once did I condone what they're doing. Not sure where he got that from. I'm refuting the guy above that thinks that private servers are only there for people who don't want to pay subs. Exactly right. This guy is saying exactly what I'm saying. That's not why people are doing this. I paid a sub for a while, for years, until it went to dog shit. And now I don't pay anymore. Why? Because I refuse to pay for, like, I'm not gonna pay for a product I don't need or I don't want. That's what WoW is now. It's a product I don't want. Turtle WoW, on the other hand, is like an amazing product that I'd love to pay for. Right? I'll pay that $15 a month happily. Like, take it, right? Take it, please. Like, it's a great game, and it brought the the devs and the GMs. They moderate the community. Like Blizzard always. Here's another thing. Blizzard always said people wanted them to have GMs, actual GMs, to moderate the community. And before they said, "Oh, it's just not practical. We can't do it. We can't stop the gold sellers. We can't do this. We can't do that." Bullshit. They're doing it here with a smaller team, with 14,000 people online. Don't tell me you can't moderate that shit. Don't tell me you're going to leave it up to AI to mismanage shit. You're just cheap and you're lazy. That's what it is. And people might come in and say, "Oh, yeah, you've just never run a game server before, blah, blah, blah." Well, how are they doing it at Turtle WoW? How are they doing such a good job? Is it perfect? No. But how are they doing it? I put in a ticket once on Turtle WoW when someone's account got hacked. I got a response within, I think, about 9 or 10,000 people online. I got a response in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes from an actual person. And part of the response was a little canned, but then other parts weren't canned. What? It's corporate. Like they say AI slop. I would like to say this is corporate slop. Retail WoW and their Classic Plus servers are corporate slop. And I'm not paying for corporate slop. I refuse to pay for corporate slop. I refuse to be part of a subscription-based economy that's filled with nothing but corporate slop, and they hold you as prisoners using this corporate slop crap. Okay? Now, Google, on the other hand, is different, right? They have a lot of stuff that they have that's, I'll use this as a different way to show you that it's not corporate slop. They came out with Nano Banana or something. If you guys haven't heard of that, look it up. It's really cool. They've come out with a bunch of cool AI tools and all this other stuff. That's not slop. That's fucking quality, right? You got to determine whether your privacy is worth using those tools or if there's an open source solution that meets those needs. But that's not slop. That's quality. That's pristine quality. Blizzard, on the other hand, and Microsoft, what they're putting out, corporate damn slop. So, to me, maybe you think differently. I'm sure my wife thinks differently, but she ain't playing it. So, anyway, she's gonna kill me after this. So, anyway, so that's what they're saying on Reddit. Yeah, like here, another guy. Wait, you think the only reason why these people play these servers is because they're free? And not because of they add new zones, new dungeons, new raids, new content on a version of the game people enjoy? Seriously? So people are saying the same crap in Discord as well. Man, I wish I could find this post from this guy. There is this guy. He's got the right mindset. Man, why can't I find him? Maybe it's this. No. There's a guy, he says, basically in Discord, in the Turtle WoW Discord, he says, "Hey, I'm just leveling up playing Turtle WoW, and just kind of checking out the post, kind of entertaining." I'm like, it's not the first time this has happened. Something gets big company comes, shuts it down, says it's not our first rodeo. We just moved to something else. So, very level-headed, very. I totally agree with him. I gotta admit, like, because my wife liked it so much, it kind of emotionally motivated me in a way that kind of made me upset because she finally found something that she liked, and it was very nice, right? And for them to shut it down now is very disappointing. So I'm not I guess not really upset, just disappointed, right? So tell me what you think. I'm not, I normally don't make this kind of video on this channel. It's fighting tides. It's about fighting the tide of all this nonsense bullshit that we deal with every day, finding ways around it, custom open source stuff that I can share with you that is not harmful or dangerous. Um, you know, so let me know, if you guys like this, if you want to see more of this, let me know. If you want to know more about this as time goes on, let me know. But I need to get back to work. I got my day job to work on. But thank you for coming along and listening to me talk about this crap here. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. See you later.